telling Canadians that the problems they're facing with increased affordability, increased prices on everything, difficulty buying gas, difficulty buying computer, they just shrugged and said, oh, it's just inflation. Well, it's not just inflation, Mr. Speaker. It is a focus that we have to have or continue to invest in Canadians. Well, telling Canadians...
All right, so basically we have MP Hutchings did an interview with Vashi Capellos on CTV, and she said bluntly, if you want better things, you better vote Liberal. It's how she said it and why the Atlantic Canadians got the discount of heating oil and not the rest of the country. It was completely appalling. I recommend you all look it up. Just a CTV yesterday, Vashi Capellos and MP Hutchings. It was a disaster. Now we got Seamus O'Regan. He's trying to mop up the cleanup, and you know, I feel bad for the guy because it's basically thrown out the window. All of carbon tax across the nation. Premier Moe of Saskatchewan says if they don't change it, we're not collecting it. And then Premier Smith of Alberta, they're looking at ways of what they can do to stop this carbon tax. Remember, there was already Ontario and this already tried to have this stopped. So the MP basically, well, with her big 7 subscribers, I don't think she's going to be doing very well anymore and emailing many more people. Okay, so check out what... This is the best. I just let her say
4 times the size of the Great Britain, and we still have much work to do.
Then I have
the honourable member for Thornhill.
Liberal NDP government is finally saying the quiet part out loud. They admitted that their carbon tax makes life more unaffordable and does nothing to help the environment. But only certain people get relief. Those who happen to live in places where Liberal polling numbers are the worst. Everyone else gets told that their vote doesn't matter and that they don't care. If the Liberals can take the carbon tax off for some Canadians, why can't they take it off for all Canadians?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. As I've said a number of times, this program applies across the country in every province and territory of this country. We have developed a solution with respect to home heating oil that will put more money back into the pockets of Canadians. It will continue to fight and reduce emissions. It will address both the climate issue and challenges with respect to affordability.
The honourable member from Thornhill.
The minister can rely on his prepared talking points all he wants, but that wasn't quite how the Minister for Rural Economic Development spun it yesterday. She told Canadians that if they wanted to be exempted from Liberal carbon taxes, they had to, wait for it, vote Liberal. My neighbours in the GTA have a question then for the minister. They have 24 Liberal MPs in Toronto, 11 in Peel, 7 in York, 10 of them are cabinet ministers. If this is the largest concentration of Liberal ridings in Canada, then why are they still paying a carbon tax?
I just don't agree with treating one side of the country different than another, and that's kind of been Trudeau's way, and this is just the exclamation point times 100. And the Conservatives are going to work with the premiers on this because not one premier, most of them are Conservative now, they're not happy about the carbon tax because it's adding to the cost of...
The Honourable Minister.
Mr. Speaker, home heating oil is a challenge not just for Atlantic Canadians but for many in rural Canada. That has been the case for many years, but became more forceful in the last couple of years as the price of home heating oil skyrocketed, went up 75% in 2022. What I would say is we've come up with a solution that actually will enable Canadians to do the right thing with respect to fighting climate change. We'll actually put more money in their pockets. It is a good solution for the climate. It is a good solution for the affordability of Canadians in Atlantic Canada and everywhere across this country. But became more forceful in the last couple of years.
Member for Dufferin.
Has finally admitted the carbon tax makes heating your home more expensive, and he's pausing the carbon tax in Atlantic Canada. And we know why, because the Minister for Long Range Mountains said Atlantic MPs forced the Prime Minister to do it. So actually what the Prime Minister is saying after 8 years is that if you're a Liberal MP from Brampton, Toronto, Mississauga or Thunder Bay, your voice doesn't matter at all. You can't have any change. They are effectively useless. So will the Prime Minister stop playing politics with the carbon tax and just axe it?
Here. but became more
Member for Dufferin Caledon.
Now we've just been treated to the great carbon tax fable. First, it was revenue neutral. Second, you get more money than you pay into it. Third, it fights climate change. It does none of those things, Mr. Speaker.
Right.
What it does, and what the Prime Minister has admitted by pausing the carbon tax, is it makes it more expensive for everyone. The real tragedy is for MPs, is for Canadians outside of Atlantic Canada. Why? It's not being paused. And no, most people heat their homes in Ontario, Saskatchewan, Manitoba, BC, and Quebec, not with heating oil. It doesn't apply across the country. Will they stop playing politics, picking winners and looters, dividing Canadians, and axe the tax? Picking winners and looters.